Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. California versus Washington State Rosé. Rosé is a huge category now. Took a while for Washington to catch up to California. It was a big in California a long time ago. It took Washington a while, but in the last 3 to 4 years, I've seen it explode in the store. Everybody's buying Rosé. Even people that normally would not try it are now saying, hey, I need to try some Rosé. Rosé can come in all different flavors, styles, colors, all of that. Most people prefer lighter style rosés. With both of these are actually fairly light style rosés. Thought it was interesting. I did a wine tasting with a winemaker recently, and he had a Pinot Noir rosé. It was pretty good, nice and dry, which a lot of people like, dry rosé. And he said, well, you know, I left it on the skins a little bit longer to get more color because I wanted more color. Well, I wanted to say, hey, dude, not very many people want more color. Really, they like the lighter style rosés. Catch up with the times, dude. Catch up with the times. Anyway, but you know, people don't mind dark rosés. But I guarantee you, 8 times out of 10, the people that come in are looking for a rosé that has a pale color to it. Rosé can be made in a couple of different ways. Well, actually, it can be made more than a couple of ways. But the basic ways are the Saignée method. Saignée means to bleed. It's a French word for bleed. So they take the juice, they allow the grapes to ferment on the skins, they pour off some of the juice, and that becomes a rosé. The rest of the juice is used for whatever they're making, whether it's Pinot Noir, Syrah, Grenache, whatever it is, they use the rest of it. It gives them more concentration, and of course it becomes a cash crop, right? Because they're able to use the wine for 2 purposes. They can also make up straight up rosé. And not as economical, but a lot of people do that. I know my Winery of the Year, Ryan Crane, Curlew Cellars, does a straight up rosé where he, you know, keeps the juice on the skins just long enough to get the color he wants, and then he presses it to get his rosé. For, you know, if you can afford to do that, great. Some people just believe in doing it that way. I know in Tavel, in France, and near the Rhone Valley, or in the Rhone Valley actually, that's all they make is rosé. And they do a lot of their rosé out of Mourvedre, and that becomes, you know, they obviously do not use the Saignée method because they're only making rosé. Unless they want to make their own personal wine for themselves and knock themselves out. Also, not used as much, but sometimes in the past, they've just added red wine to white wine to make rosé. There you go. They don't do that so much anymore, if at all. Both of these are Stelvin closure screw caps. You'll see that a lot with rosé. I'm excited to see rosé take off because what it is that, and actually year round, that's the cool part. I've had a stack of rosé in the store year round. Stack meaning 4 cases high on the floor, and people are buying it, which is really, really cool because rosé is such a versatile wine, not just for enjoying as a porch pounder, or as my friends would say, PP wine, porch pounder wine. Also, you know, just to enjoy with food. It's great with shellfish, it's great with ham, it's great with salads. It has so much good with cheese, all of that. Okay, let's get started. California versus Washington State Rosé. This is the 2017, yeah, they're both 17. They're both $10, by the way. Sea Glass Rosé, Monterey County, California, 2017, $10. Let me give you a little bit longer there. There you go. Let's give it a little rinse. This is Pinot Noir based rosé, at least what I saw in Wine Searcher. Sea Glass, I sell quite a bit of their Pinot Noir, and their Pinot Noir actually is a solid restaurant glass pour. Let's see what we get on the nose. A little bubblegum action. Now that's not very uncommon for a rosé, although I have to say the Duck Pond rosé that we tasted just the other day had, it was Pinot Noir as well, had with a little Gamay in it, curiously. Did not have the bubblegum on it, which I found interesting. It's a little bit like strawberry bubblegum. Not bubble yum, you know, which would be big blast of strawberry. This is just a lighter strawberry. Fairly challenged. I'm not getting a lot on the nose. Maybe a hint of watermelon in the background. Let's see what we get on the palate. Nice and dry, but it has a good, I'm getting a little watermelon, strawberries coming through. That bubblegum characteristic like bazooka, just barely on the back end, kind of like an underbelly of a bazooka bubblegum. Then it dries out nicely, almost gets a citrus component, doesn't quite go there, almost gets the citrus, and then it stops. It's like somebody squeezed some cherry juice into a watermelon, and you're eating it, and then you just think that maybe there's a little bit of citrus there, but it's not entirely citrusy. Nice, balanced rosé. This is a delicious rosé. This is a PP rosé, porch pounder. But I think you could do really nicely with this, with shellfish. Yeah, I like it. The bubblegum effect, not so much, but it's not overpowering. I'm going to go straight up B minus. C plus, B minus. C plus, B minus. Better than average, but, you know, better than average. Yeah, I'm going to go C plus. Hedging stronger on the B minus side. I think a lot of you are going to like this Sea Glass Pinot Noir Rosé. Really good stuff, actually. Cool label. Very cool label. I like it. Yeah, let's move on. So there's the California. Let's move on to the 2017 Charles & Charles Rosé. This is Charles Bieler, Charles Smith project. Now this is a blend rosé. 67% Syrah, 14% Cabernet Sauvignon, 9% Grenache, 7% Mourvedre, 2% Cinsault, 1% Counoise. Pretty cool. $10. $10, maybe hedging towards $12. I couldn't find it on Wine Searcher, but I know that in the past I've carried this. Now, just like the, now this is cool. Now you're having, like Mourvedre is a very dark grape. You know, obviously Cab Sauv is a darker grape. Syrah is a darker grape, but look at the color. Very cool. You want to look at the label as well. Charles Smith is an amazing marketer. Amazing marketer. Charles Bieler as well, both of them. Put those two together and you get all kinds of cool things happening. Let's see what we get on the nose. I've liked this in the past. Nice color, a little lighter than the Sea Glass. Definitely watermelon rind right off the bat. I get a little peach component coming through, a little bit of tangerine as well. No bubble gum on this one. Yeah, peaches, tangerine, watermelon, rind, closer, you know how you get closer to the rind kind of area? Yeah, interesting on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. Now this rosé is crazy good. I'm just going to say straight up, crazy good. I get the watermelon closer to the rind. I get the peaches. I get the tangerines, all kind of nicely integrated together. It kind of rounds out on the mid-palate, but then goes bone dry on the finish, which is really cool. So you get all those flavors, like a potpourri of flavors, right from the front to the mid-palate, and then it just goes, see you later, but don't forget me, sort of thing. See you later, but don't forget me. And it's lingering on the backside. Good intensity on the mid-palate, like I said. Goes into the finish dry. I get the tangerine kind of orange mandarin thing hangs on the backside with a little peach component kind of sticking to it. Really cool rosé. I'm excited about this rosé. I think we're going to pump a lot of this rosé out of the store because it is very good. Nice stuff. I have to say, in the California versus Washington Challenge, even though they're not the same exact grapes, well, not even close, I'd have to say Washington is kicking their ass on this one. Now, I'm not saying that the sea glass is very good. The bubblegum component kind of throws me off a little bit. I don't like to see that too much in my rosés. So that's what notched it down a little bit. I still thought it was very good. I still think a lot of you are going to like it. But this is kick-ass rosé from Charles & Charles. I could drink that all day. Hey, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your schedule. Did I grade this even? I'm going to give it a straight up B+, A-. Great rosé. Love it. Love the color, love the flavors, love everything about it. Thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your day. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell so you know. Hit the bell if you want to know when my next videos are coming up. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.